Good evening, lovely tubers. White Mexican back again for a follow-up on my Cashtera profile. There was a few minor changes that I made that I just wanted to review really quick because I felt that they were very, very impactful. Again, this is going to be specifically curtailed to my personal locals. Of late, I've been really concerned with Fire Kings and Labyrinth, but more specifically, Labyrinth has been a really tough matchup for me personally with this build. Shifter doesn't really do much against them, and there is some slight adjustments that I made that I just wanted to review with you guys really quick. So really fast, just going through the main deck monsters. 1 Scareclaw, 1 Ogre, playset of Fenrir, playset of Unicorn, and the playset of Riseheart. As you guys are well aware, I'm very high advocate of running not 1 or 2, but 3 of these. Potentially you can side one out if you want to, but really good to start out with 3, not open 3, but to have 3 game 1. Of course, Shifter, too good not to run, and the triple Ash. This is where the change, a little minor change here in the Magic cards. I did change Cosmic to 1. I had 3 in the side deck. I moved 1 to the main deck, and I actually, at high risk, emphasis on the high risk, I put the other 2, I took the other 2 out. So I put 1 to the main deck, and then I took the other 2 from the side deck out completely. And I'll explain the reasons why I had to kind of make cuts for other slots in the side deck specifically to have a better matchup against Labyrinth, because that is what I've been specifically struggling with. So I'll explain that when I go over the side deck. But 1 Cosmic, 1 Sarcophagus. This is just, again, so critical. If you already have your Birth banished, you can activate this, banish your Theosis, do your recursion effect, cop the Birth, or if you already have a Birth in your hand or face up on your field, you can just put whatever fodder you need, Fenrir, Unicorn, you name it, and then you can just special it back with Birth. Really, really great synergy, a lot of really cool combos you can do with that. I usually like to use a dice on this. Don't forget about this too. Like the Theosis, normally you're going to banish Theosis with this, but don't forget you can cop that Theosis back. So it's like a double effect. You can banish it for 2 turns, cop your recursion effect immediately from the remove and play zone, and then in 2 standby phase, I like to just put a dice on it. I just keep it kind of on the side here, even though technically sometimes it's under Shifter, so it'd be banished or in the graveyard. I just like put it on the side behind my graveyard or behind my deck, so like deck, graveyard, behind it. I'll put a little dice just to like keep track. So it's really critical. A lot of people, if you're gonna run this, they're really easy to forget about, but make sure you get your Theosis or your monster or whatever it is that you're moving and play with this as a follow-up. It's pretty cool. Duster still on the main board. 4th planet, of course, the MVP of the deck. Triple Dimensional Fister, gotta have it. No Crow, no Droll, no Veiler. The triple Prosperity, again, this is still the best consistency. I'm still really trying to rack my mind and figure out a way if there's other potential draw power to use. Before, as you guys may or may not have seen, I was running triple Prosperity with 1 7-stars. I actually cut the 7-stars completely out, which I think is fine. It was kind of sad to see it go, but with just Prosperity at 3, for now, it's kind of really, it's enough for the most part. As long as this doesn't get ashed, again, usually the ash target goes to Theosis, so this is kind of safe somewhat. And anyway, that's just kind of what it is right now. And then, of course, 3 planet, 3 Theosis. It is very critical to run 3. I know some people try to cop out with just 2 because they don't want to brick on it. It is a risk because multiple times I've drew into 3 or 2 of these, and it's just not fun. But again, when you're playing the build like me and you're running the Gold Sarco, you're running 3 Riseheart, like you have to run 3 Theosis because the synergy and the combos is really kind of based off of it. And then of course you have your 3 Birth. I moved this to the main deck, and it was great until I played the Labyrinth player. I'm going to grab my iPhone really quick so I can take some notes just to kind of give you guys a rough idea. So today was our Thursday tournament. The way it's structured is basically you play 4 rounds. If you win 3 out of 4 of your rounds, you top and get part of cut prizing. And I'm just pulling up my notes here to kind of break it down for you guys. So my round 1 today was... That's the wrong... So my first and only loss, I went X1. So out of the 3 rounds, the 4 rounds today, I went X1. So I only lost 1 out of the 4 rounds. It was my very first round. And it was only because I lost to the dice roll. And let me explain that further. So I go into game 1, and this is pretty colorful. I play against an Orcus Adventure Horus build. Okay. And we threw dice. I won the dice roll. I went first. I took game 1. It took a little time, but I took game 1 confidently. Going into game 2, I pretty much bricked. I did not draw very well, and I was going second, obviously. So it was pretty easy to for my opponent to take game 2. We went to game 3. Game 3 was really grindy. Actually, it wasn't really that grindy. It was just very short because game 2 was very long, and game 1 was kind of long too. But it was I had full control pretty much with winning the dice roll, full control and everything, and control of the graveyard and everything. So it was anyway. We go to game 3. We're both at 8K, and we run out of time. So we rolled for it, and I ended up losing the dice roll. So technically, for the round 1, it was a very, very good matchup. The player was really, really smart, a really good player, a really great guy. It was really fun to play against him in my match 1. Unfortunately, we went to time, and we were about to draw, and instead of drawing, we decided just to throw dice, and he beat me with the high roll. So I lost to the dice on my only loss, which was match 1. Match 2 was against Fire King Snake Eyes, and that I also won dice roll. I didn't draw very optimal. It was pretty much I just had a Shangira. I ended with an impermanent Shangira. It was very lackluster. Passed over to him. He had the witch, the Diabellstar witch. I impermed the Diabellstar, so he didn't get the set, and he pretty much that was as simple as that. He was done. I guess he drew bad too, and he scooped game 1, so I took game 1. Game 2, I got clapped. I got clapped pretty hard, pretty quickly. Game 2, we went to game 3, and game 3 was extremely, extremely grindy. We both went incredibly low in life, but I ended up taking it at the very, very end within the last about 3 minutes of the match. So I took game 3, ended up winning the match against the Fire King Snake Eyes. I went to round 3. Match 3 was actually a cop-out. My opponent was already X2 at that point, so he was already out for top cut prizing to top. So we didn't even play. He dropped out of the tournament, and I just got a free win for match 3. And then match 4 was the Labyrinth player. I played the Labyrinth player, which I anticipated playing some kind of Labyrinth because, again, my locals is relatively strong in Labyrinth. There's a lot of players that run Labyrinth. So that's why I made the changes last minute that I did, specifically to curtail 4, 1 Branded, and 2 Labyrinth, because those are 2 matchups that I personally have a hard time with my Kashtira build. So round 4, playing the Labyrinth player. I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure I won dice roll, and I think I lost. Yes, I think I got clapped pretty hard. I won dice roll. I opened this, and obviously Labyrinths are all fiends. This is a completely dead card. One dice roll, placed this. It was, kind of like the Fire King, game 1 Fire King Snake Eyes. It was really subpar opening for me. Didn't really combo off. So I set this, and I had whatever else I had. It was really lackluster. I ended up getting clapped by the Labyrinth player game 1. But then the side deck came in. And when the side deck came in, that was what turned everything around. That's why I wanted to do a quick update on, more specifically, the side deck, because that was what changed significantly. A couple onesie twosies here in the main deck, but and I was able to take game 2, and then game 3 was extremely grindy. We almost went to time. We only had a couple minutes left before the Labyrinth player ended up scooping and surrendering in game 3, which gave me my 3rd match win to top. But I definitely earned it. Like, I earned it. It was a very, very grindy game 3. Anyway, so that was the lineup for today's tournament, which was really nice to top and, you know, cop store credit and all that stuff, and, you know, get all that stuff. So really cool. Another thing, like, I'm going to do a video. There's a couple topics that I have in my iNotes that I've been meaning to have, kind of like conversational topics, or just, you know, things that I want to kind of discuss regarding the game and, like, different things. Like, one is going to be, like, time rulings. Another one is going to be just good sportsmanship. There's, like, anywhere you go, there's just certain players that are just, like, they have terrible sportsmanship. They're really sore losers. They're extremely salty. They're very disrespectful. They're very rude. And I just hate that. I hate that so much. That literally just ruins so much of the fun out of the game. And it just makes it so, like, awkward and shitty. And it's just really, really annoying. So that's something that's coming, like, on the radar. That's something I want to shoot a video to discuss about later on. My game, well, in a couple of my games, let's just say there was some players that were just really bad sportsmen, had no good sportsmanship, and just were very kind of just shitty after, you know, getting beat by Kashtira. So anyway, okay, so and again about this, so I really think that I'm going to put this back in the side deck. It's too good not to run, because again, all of the Kashtira monsters, as I explained in my other video, they're all psychic, except for Riseheart. Riseheart is the only warrior. Everything else, Unicorn, Fenrir, Ogre, Scareclaw, Tier Elements, they're all psychic. Even Shangira is psychic too, so you can still go into some Shangira plays under Rivalry. But again, when you play against, you know, things like Labyrinth, like, this is just completely dead. And if you lose the dice roll, it's really tough. You don't want to open with traps. This is fine because you can play this immediately, but you don't want to lose the dice roll and open up with a trap, especially against something like Labyrinth. And Labyrinth is growing, in my personal opinion, in popularity because of rollback, and just, I don't know, I've just seen a resurgence of people just really like the deck for some reason. Okay, so side deck is critical, and this was the reason why I was able to have a lot better matchup this go-round against the Labyrinth player. 1 Magma Hunt, 2 Druish Worm, the 3 Lava Golem, of course. The 2 Lightning Storms were huge. I hit him once with Lightning Storm in our match, and that was pretty blowout. But the MVP was, I actually was able to draw into the Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors this time. A lot of people talk a lot of poop. A lot of people just say that all this is just, it's too easy, and it is very vulnerable. You know, it's face up on the field in the back row. You know, it can get Cosmic, can get Dustered, you know, whatever have you. It's very, very vulnerable, but I was able to keep it out long enough that the lab pair just didn't have enough spot removal. I think the SP went to my birth that game, and it stayed on the board for too long. And the longer it stayed on the board, the less resources that they were able to gain. So, personal white Mexican theory, I think this card is really, really great. It's not the end-all, be-all, but it is super good. You can use it against Branded. They're all pretty much dark. You can use it against Dark World. For, you know, the 1-2 Dark World players in the room, respect to the Grapha, he's the king. But Labyrinth is the big thing for me specifically, and it worked out very, very well. So I was really happy that I was actually able to get into it and actually use it this time. And then I had to make room for the new adjustments. I had to cut D barrier to 2. This was quite painful. I didn't miss it this matchups because I didn't really play anything too extra deck heavy, at least for like Synchro and Fusion. This time around, at least. Normally I do, but this time I didn't. So it wasn't too bad. I made the right choice cutting this down to 2. It was fine. And then I did keep 3 evenly, though. 3 evenly is always super, super good. I got evenly once, which was pretty blowout. It was actually, my opponent had it set, and I'd used Ogre, and I had like foreseen the evenly coming up, so I knew he was eventually going to get it. And I figured that he did set it because it was later in the game, and like you're only going to be able to proc it off after putting your cards on the field by setting it after battle phase, end of battle phase. And I knew he had it set, and I had pretty much a full field, and like I attacked through everything. But what my plan was I was going to, it was against a Snake Eyes Fire King player. And when I knew that I saw that he had it set because I saw it through Ogre, my plan was to go into Annihilation first, pop the set evenly match with Annihilation, and then go into battle phase and attack with all my other monsters to hit for heavy damage without him getting the opportunity to proc the evenly match. The problem with that was it was really late in the game, and I already think had Prosperity twice, and I just didn't have any left. Even though I play a play set of these, it was very late in the game. I think I had Prosperity twice, like I said, and I just didn't have any left in my extra deck. They were all gone. And in the back of my mind, I knew he had it set because I had seen it, but I kind of forgot about it, and I was like, oh, it's fine. I'll Annihilation. I'll pop it before. Then I'll go to battle phase. And I kind of just went to battle phase, and I did my thing, and I forgot about it. So it's like in the back of my mind, I knew it was set. I knew it was there. I just kind of forgot about it because I was super confident about running 3 of these, and I was kind of just, thinking that I'd like, kind of like pseudo already destroyed it, but I didn't. Ended up flipping it end of battle. It was pretty blowout. Again, I still took the match. It was fine. I still took the W, which was, luxurious. But, yeah, so that was kind of, this card is just, it's always good. It's always good. I'm a huge Advent fan of this card. I think that if you're not running a playset in the side deck for going second, it's high risk. But I get it. Extra deck or side deck is very, very tight. But it's a really great card. So it worked out pretty well. And again, just to kind of review, so very similar to the build I was playing before, just some minor adjustments here, curtailed specifically again for those type of decks that I'm trying to go against, specifically for Labyrinth. Shadow was really great. Everyone knows, obviously, going second, this and Harpy's Feather Duster is blowout, hence why, main the Harpy's Feather Duster, side these in. I do take Shifter out. Shifter does not nearly do as much damage as it does with other builds. So immediately, my recommendation is just to side it out after game 1. Obviously, you're going to main this because it's good against pretty much, a lot of things, but not very impactful with Labyrinth. So game 2, this immediately was a 3 slot slide out, which helped to kind of rotate the cards. But again, 2 Shadows, 2 Lightning, and then, of course, the Bestials. I actually didn't get to use any of these, not a single one, but I did side them in against the Horus Orcust Adventure player. I just didn't see him, didn't use him. And then, of course, I sided him in for game 2 and 3 of Labyrinth, but I didn't see him. What was super blowout was the Lightning Storm and the Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, because I actually saw those and I was actually able to utilize them, and that's what got me the W for the match. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. That is all I have for you guys. This has been a showcasing by Autumn's Allure. My name is the White Mexican, and I will see you in the next video.